I want to apologize that my audio sounds awfully bad in this episode. For I used the voice isolation feature when recording, which I did not realize made my voice sound horrible. So I apologize. And now back to the show.
Oh, yes, he's back, everyone. We're back. We're going to make podcasts great again.
Look at
we call them in the EV community. We call them ice holes.
The purpose of macro is done as the purpose of Apple Intelligence and ice holes.
Okay.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. And as always, I'm Teddy Maggart from the iTunes Fanboy.
I'm TabbyCat406 or Smash Tech or Tabby Ferris, whatever you want to call me.
And then Alpha DeWolf is also back on the show, everyone.
After so long.
Yes.
I try to make a Trump impression.
Yeah, Alpha and Tabby had some...
Oh, yes, he's back, everyone. We're back. We're going to make podcasts great again.
Yes, Tabby and Alpha both had some school-related stuff. I mean, I've been busy with schoolwork lately too, so we just haven't done a podcast episode since we recorded in August, but it was released in September. But now we are back here as of December 12th, 2024. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's cover all of Apple's product releases since then. We're starting off with the iPhone 16 lineup.
I have that.
Of course you do.
How's it?
You know, I think I shared some of my complaints with you guys pretty early on, but the more I use the phone, the more I like it. You know, initially I was kind of skeptical to keep going with it. I kind of wanted to return it just because I didn't like the screen size. I didn't like a lot of the things they were doing. I didn't really like the camera button. I didn't like the direction they were going, but, you know, I just kind of dealt with it. And screen size doesn't really bother me anymore. I do pick up the 15 Pro and I get kind of like how Alpha gets. I'm like, yeah, this was such a good phone. I'm like, yeah, I wish I didn't buy the 16 Pro, but I did, and I'm happy with my purchase. You know, it's going pretty well. A lot less damage on this phone than my last one. Because if you remember, within the first month that I had the 15 Pro, I think it was the second weekend I had it, it fell out of my pocket and it just went downhill from there. But never crack. Well, I didn't crack it. There's not a single scratch on the screen either, so that's not on the back. There's not a scratch on either of the glass surfaces, except for the lens. It's only the stuff that's not supposed to get scratched that scratches. It's only the stuff that like is supposed to be so tough that scratches up. But I know Alpha has a couple things to say on the 16s because I remember you were considering it, weren't you?
I finally have this set in stone because for the longest time. Oh, it's on the charger. This has been my daily driver for quite a long time. I've had a break from it for about like 6 months or something like that, but I went back to it eventually. It's finally starting to show its age and starting to not meet my needs anymore.
You know, Apple really outdoes themselves with usability and longevity on products.
Yeah, and I think that's a good testament to that.
They do too.
And you got yours new old stock too.
Yeah, I mean, I could have bought the 11 Pro while that was out because I bought this in summer of 2020, but I mean, for various other reasons. I bought last year's iPhone and I'm still using it to this day.
That's really impressive. That's something that a lot of people don't do. And it really just shows you can keep an iPhone for so long. You know, I'm sure that you could do the same with a Pixel 3 XL, but I feel like the burn-in at that point, the burn-in would be out of this world. Does your phone have any noticeable burn-in?
Honestly, nothing for burn-in. I don't see any. I mean, I've always used the display. It's never in a resting state. And usually, when the device is in a resting state, that's what can lead to burn-in. It's never in a resting state. So, but yeah, honestly,
I was really surprised
Same.
when my what's up?
yeah, minus a few scratches on the screen because I mean, I stopped using a case a while ago, and I have a thing against screen protectors. I mean, I get the concept and I like the idea of protecting the screen. The problem is the products that are supposed to protect the screen suck. All of them. I
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So I don't like to waste my
A
money
lot
with
of them
that.
do
And
have
I mean,
issues.
as Apple's been improving display technology, they're getting more and more scratch resistant. My 13 Pro Max is a testament to that. But anywho, yeah, the phone has held up very well, but now it is getting to the point where it's showing its age, and it's not because of iOS 18. I mean, it might be part of it, but no.
Oh, I hate iOS
Oh,
18.
you saw my video that I uploaded today, right?
Now you know why I don't update my iPhone.
Teddy did, I did not
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw that
gonna check
video.
that out after.
Yeah. And funny enough, another bug had just
This
appeared.
is why 16.0.2.
18.2 on mine, and I have had to charge my phone twice today, which is out of the ordinary. Like I was using it pretty heavily. I'm
I
not
had to
gonna
charge my
lie.
phone multiple times.
4 hours and 3 minutes. 4 hours and 3 minutes screen on with 23% of that being camera.
Mm.
So that makes a lot of sense. Wireless CarPlay drained a lot too. Um, and I mean, I woke up early today anyway, so I don't blame the phone for that really. I'm more I don't know. You can't really blame anything for that.
I had to charge my phone like 5 times today because I forgot to charge it last night.
Oh man.
And of course, like now that I'm finally
We all
back
have
in the
issues
shop
like
for a long
that.
period of time, unfortunately, I don't know why I haven't done this yet, but I don't actually have a charger at my desk there. I need to get one for at my desk. So I've only had quick periods where, okay, I plug it in here at my desk here while I prepare lunch or something, get myself ready to go into work. Then I have whatever it took from that, get in the car, takes whatever the car gives it, and then sits there at the office, and then back in the car, okay, give it more juice and such. But yeah, I've been riding. I haven't hit 50% on that phone yet today.
Yeah, one thing about the desk charger, I know what you mean. Until like 2 weeks ago, I didn't have a permanent desk charger. But trust me, when you get one that just stays at your desk, it's
Yeah.
so good. I bought this 10-foot cable for in my bedroom, like when I got the 15 Pro and I had to get new cables. That cable, having it a long cable, even if you're not going to use it, it's just so
Oh yeah.
nice to have. Because if you're like on
Yeah.
the other side of your bed, you can use it. In my basement where my desk is, I can basically use this cable from wherever. It's such a nice thing to have.
Well, of course, I like to use wireless charging, so
Yeah, it truly is a nice.
Oh,
so
right.
I actually have a phone stand
Those can get
that'll wirelessly
expensive.
charge it. In fact, when I hint upgrade next year, uh, I'm planning on getting like a MagSafe wireless charger for the phone.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to tell us more about your upgrade, Alpha? Because I know, but the
Yeah.
TIP audience
So
might not.
in August, this is when I'm planning on. No, September. Well, I should point out, in August is when my 13 Pro Max contract ends. So that's when the phone's fully paid off. Uh, but obviously, August is extremely close to September, and we know what happens at around September. So I'm going to wait for September, see what Apple has to offer with the 17 lineup, and like with the 11 Pro series back in 2019, or I did it in 2020, the summer, but if I wasn't happy with that current year's iPhone, whatever Apple came out with, then I'll just buy the previous generation.
that's a good solid move. But my personal opinion, but I remember back when the iPhone 16 lineup first released. I remember, although I didn't upgrade to the 16 lineup and I'm still using my iPhone 14 Pro, I remember being awfully tempted to upgrade because the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus is blue. Oh man, that was such like the color lineup. Oh man, that was so appealing. And the iPhone 16 Pro, I mean the I would have personally gotten black if I was doing that, but if I was upgrading, but it was kind of appealing, but I ultimately decided that to stick because I upgraded to this iPhone 14 Pro after, let me grab it, after my iPhone 11 Pro Max was 3 years old, even though I didn't use this phone for 3 years because it was a hand-me-down. But I'm gonna wait until next the 17 Pro comes out, and I'm either gonna do that or else. I know this is I they're like I know this is partially stupid, but I'm kind of tempted to get the iPhone 17 Air just because it's such a weird little iPhone,
If
but
that thing
I
comes
doubt
out,
I'll
it's
do that
definitely going to be a
just
piece
because
of
I do
history.
think
Nothing about that phone
yeah.
makes sense.
However, the main reason why wouldn't do that is just because again, nothing about that phone makes sense. It's cheap. It would be cheaper to get a 17 Pro. More importantly, I also need the telephoto and ultra wide camera lenses sometimes. So,
Mm-hmm. But
but yeah, the iPhone 16 Live, I remember being super tempted by it, but I ultimately did not get that. However, do you have any more
I
thoughts before
do.
we move
I
on to our
do
next
have more
topic?
thoughts about that. So ultimately, a thing I keep coming back
Oh,
on when it comes to talking about the 16 lineup, I need to ask your guys' opinion. Does this kind of feel more like an Android type of device to you than an iPhone?
Software wise, I think so because we're
yes.
getting the most stupid changes. I'm like, why do we need to have like the control center around it at such a like displeasing radius? I don't get it. It looks awful to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I hate iOS 18 so much. In fact, I don't use iOS 18, but I have iPadOS 18 on my new iPad. Hint, hint, for a future topic. But I hate, I hate Apple's latest software versions so much just because they're just they're, even Android doesn't do features that stupid. But it's just like it's becoming more of a blow. It's almost,
They're not
it's
exactly
almost like
doing amazing
Windows at the
stuff.
iOS 8, iOS 18 and iPadOS 18 and macOS Sequoia to a degree and watchOS 11. Which, by the way, I'm still using watchOS 9. That's how much I hate watchOS 10 and 11. They still, all those versions remind me more of Windows level of gimmicky features.
I don't even
Like
know
it
which
just
Apple
tried to be
Watch
so
version I'm on.
gimmicky, and I think it's partially because they're appealing to former Android users, but at the same time, it's ruining lifelong iPhone the experience of lifelong iPhone users like myself. Like one of the reasons I don't refrain from updating my devices isn't just for collectability reasons or value reasons, but it's also because I don't like the new features that iOS ships anymore. And in fact, if this iPhone 14 Pro could run iOS 15, it would run iOS 15.
I miss iOS 15.
I miss iOS 12.
Yeah, it was such a good it was such a good version, except for 15.3.1 for
Oh yeah,
Tabby.
I remember that.
Yeah, we all that was what led to me and Tabby doing a challenge of living with iOS 9 for a week, and I lived with iOS 9 on. Let me grab them. Hang on. On this iPhone 4S, which luckily I've since managed to get downgraded back to iOS 6. This iPad 2, which I've also managed to get downgraded back to iOS 6. Because iOS 9 on 85 devices is not not a pleasant experience.
So yeah, from the software perspective, yeah, it definitely feels a lot more Android. But I mean, even the hardware changes. Like, I want to talk about the camera control button because
Yeah,
that
like
was its number one hardware feature that it got.
oh,
There is
okay,
no decision
okay. I don't.
about the camera control button that feels Apple. Nothing about that button feels Apple.
No,
It's unergonomically placed.
no,
It's
and a
not
good.
convenient to use, and just the software implementation. It just nothing about this button feels like Apple. Nothing about it was thought through.
Yeah.
Well, let me actually. I have a further.
Like, Tabby, have you used it?
Let me.
No, I actually refrain from using it because I think it's so stupid. It's unnecessary. It honestly makes things harder.
All right. So the whole point of the original iPhone was to get rid of buttons, the buttons that were previously on old school phones. Which this is a hint for the video that I'm making tomorrow as a recording this video. But the whole purpose of the original iPhone was to get rid of buttons. And I've gone to this before on TIFP, I know, but it's just that now the iPhone 16 is out. I feel I should talk about it. And the same deal goes with the iPhone 10 when it eliminated the home button from the previous 7 Plus.
I feel like yes, but no. Yes, the original iPhone was supposed to get rid of buttons, but I feel like it was supposed to get rid of unnecessary
Precisely.
buttons. And I am agreeing.
Yeah.
I am agreeing the camera button is unnecessary, but something like the action button, I am actually kind of a fan of now.
Yeah,
I
I
kind of
like
do
the
like it.
action button because it replacing the switch and add more functionality, but I know this is a controversial opinion, but I personally think there should just be one button on iPhones now, and that's a power button, so that way you can force restart it. Otherwise, I don't think there should be any other buttons on the iPhone because
I
you
mean,
really
I
don't
like
need
separate.
them.
I
I'm not
like
really
physical
sure.
volume buttons for when I'm listening to music. I can just reach from my phone in my pocket and not have to pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like physical volume buttons too, but I mean, technically you don't necessarily need them, which is. But again, volume buttons are a lot more useful than the
Yeah.
camera control. But something I was just thinking about earlier today. Hang on, let me grab a sip of water. Is that I wonder if Apple is starting to hand a lot of the work to John Turnus, and now Tim Cook is getting ready to retire, and John Turnus just I don't want to say he doesn't know what he's doing, but he definitely doesn't seem like he knows fully what he's doing.
Whoever's working at Apple right now, just on a lot of this stuff in general, does not exactly know what they're doing to the highest degree. You know what I mean?
No, and mind you, something that I find kind of funny is that at Apple, you're required to have a college degree to work there.
Wait,
At
what?
any of Elon Musk's yeah, you're required to have a college degree to
Even at
work
like
in
the Apple
Apple's
Store?
headquarters.
I,
No,
I
not at
think
the
he means
Apple
like
Oh,
Store,
you mean like
but
corporate.
internal?
if you want to work in Apple's headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
that
you want
makes
to
more
work at
sense.
there and like do product design, you have to have a college degree. However, at Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter for that matter, I'm still calling it Twitter. At those companies, which are really any companies owned by Elon Musk, you don't even have to have a high school
Wait
diploma.
a sec.
Sounds like
Wait,
Elon
hold
Musk.
And
on.
yet,
Apple, the
which
company that
which
is
companies
all about inclusivity. Uh, did we just catch him again?
Yeah.
Yes, we did because I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't want to spend the same type of money that could buy me a house on an education on a free pass to get jobs that on a free pass just to get a job that anybody can get. I'm sorry that I don't want to blow that kind. I'm sorry that I don't want to blow that kind of money, or else have to work way too hard to get work way too hard in school to get scholarships.
That and like especially when it comes from a design perspective. I mean, maybe this is just me, but from an artist perspective, you don't need to go to school for art.
No, you do. No, I should know this. I took art classes. I've taken several art classes at my school, at various schools throughout the year, and I'm like, if you look at my artwork, I'm actually I have a photo. I have a photo of one of my pieces of artwork on my phone, and my artwork, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the best. Hang on, I actually did like a watercolor copy of the macOS Mojave wallpaper that I thought I would show. Hang on, let me find it. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Not bad.
This is not.
Looks nice.
It's definitely not a professional artist artwork, but it's not. It's not horrible. But it's definitely not a professional artist artwork. But at the same time, I mean, has Alpha ever taken any? Well, Alpha, you're getting into like actual art, actual art now, right?
Well, I mean, I'm an artist in a few other perspectives. Like, I know some people don't like it when you say this, but if you're a musician, you're technically an artist. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I knew you were a musician by. Exactly. Well, that's exactly a valid point, because again, I know we're getting on a side tangent. I know we're going on a side tangent now, which again, this is a side tangent show. But one of my, but I have a few friends who are musicians, and they don't take, and I don't think they take music classes in school.
And usually, I mean, I'd say that it's at least a good idea to offer it for learning how to play instruments and such. Like, I took lessons for the piano, but everything
Yeah.
else I basically taught myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I actually play. I've actually played on a couple of guitars. I don't have my own guitar, but I've actually played on a couple of them, and I mean, granted, it would be nice to know exact in whilst I don't fully know what I'm doing. I can make decent sounding music with that. Although again, I'm not a musician, so
But anywho, we got off topic. So we talked about the whole camera control thing. There's only one other thing left about the 16 Pros that I'd like to bring up, and it's honestly my personal biggest letdown of it. You remember that video I made in
What's that?
towards the end of September?
Which one?
when you were debating if you wanted it,
What was the
one
number one feature that got me excited about the 16 Pros?
studio mics.
Yup.
And I listened to a few videos recorded by studio mics, and unless you're in a loud, busy environment, they sound horrible.
I wouldn't say they sound
I wouldn't
horrible.
say that either. But they don't. They sound like your regular iPhone mic, but with better voice isolation.
To me, it just sounds like a whole bunch of. I don't personally like the sound of the studio mics make, but my ears are also very, very, very particular about sound frequencies. As this again is going on a bit of a side tangent, but when I was little, I used to be really scared of toilets in public
Okay.
restrooms.
Try not to laugh here, but okay. Anywho, um, I was hoping like for these studio quality mics, we get what we got with the MacBooks, and that's not what we got.
The MacBook's microphones are
No.
really good.
Honestly,
Yeah, I'm using my MacBook's
same here.
microphone right
And I have a
now.
nicer microphone that I could be using, but I'm still using my MacBook's mics.
Same. I could use continuity camera if I want to, but I like using my MacBook, especially because my new tripod doesn't fit very well with my desk setup and
Oh, mine
desk
just
and
barely
my MacBook.
fits.
So yeah, I had to get a new tripod after 3 years. So there's that. But shall we talk about the? First of all, I guess we should mention that there is a black Apple Watch Ultra 2 now. No new Apple Watch Ultra.
Yeah, it kind of confused me the way they did that.
It kind of did too, but I mean, it's basically
I
just a
hear
new
it
color.
scratches. That,
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised because the black on my well, I can't show you this because I'm recording on my MacBook, but the black finish on my MacBook Pro towards the edge because I bumped it against the edge of the drawer where I store it, which is not in my room. It's
Put it in a
it bu-
drawer?
I got some really I have really deep scratches on my MacBook now. Which speaking of, I've had this MacBook for about a year
nice.
now.
Why do you put it in a drawer?
It's not a drawer so much. It's a cubby, I guess that's the proper word. Yeah,
Oh,
it's put in. I store it in a cubby in my family room because that's the room that I most frequently go to as, other than sleeping in here, which yes I do sleep in here now, but other than sleeping in my room and recording my YouTube videos and doing this podcast, I hardly spend time in my room.
wait, you didn't sleep in your room before?
No, I used to sleep in one of the other bedrooms in my house, but now I sleep in my own room. That's a very personal
Yeah, I
thing,
want to
so I
say
don't
that's kind
want
of
to get
cool.
into it.
Oh, okay.
How, because, I mean, does the internet know you're an only child?
Yeah, I've sort of I think I've mentioned.
I think it's been mentioned
I
before.
think I've mentioned it. Did you guys? Did I ever direct? Did I directly
Yeah,
tell you guys I'm an only child, or did you guys just figure that
yeah,
out on
you've
your
told us
own?
once or twice.
I think you said something like, "Well, I don't have any brothers or sisters, so it wouldn't matter to me." Something about like Apple family or something. I don't
Yeah, that
remember.
might have been it.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
don't.
the benefit
Yeah, I
of
don't have
being an
any.
only child effectively is when you have a house with multiple bedrooms, hey, somebody gets a free office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the case here.
All right, but shall I move on to the Apple Watch Ultra 10 or Apple Watch Series 10? Excuse me. Now.
Yeah.
I think I completely forgot everything new that watch had brought other than the bigger screen.
I remember because Elias got one, and I was looking at it today. It's thinner now, but the bezels
Yeah,
are bigger.
that's a
But,
big complaint everyone
it's
had.
got polished titanium. It's got polished titanium,
Yeah,
but
the best.
it's not really amazing polished
I mean,
titanium.
it has polished titanium, but I mean, the Apple Watch Series 10. I mean, it's a decent upgrade. I'm not gonna complain about it, but when I upgrade my Apple Watch next year, which near it's definitely gonna be, it's probably I'm gonna go Ultra just cause I can't. I wanted a better battery life on my Apple Watch Series 5, which is why I upgraded from my. Hang on, let me grab it. My Apple, which is why I upgraded from this Apple Watch Series 5. However, now I just want to. I want the better battery life of the Ultra that I want in the first place. So I'm gonna save up my money and then get an Apple Watch Ultra or 2 or 3 next year when I upgrade my phone.
I might also get the Series 10 as well. I thought about it. I mean,
Some things about it just make no
you're right.
sense to me.
Because, I mean, I'm not a fan of the fact that they increase the bezel size, basically. But then again,
Yeah, that literally eliminated it from my sites. I'm not if they're making the bezels bigger, I'm not.
yeah,
Screw
it just
that.
makes it less appealing.
Yeah, I didn't even know they made the bezels bigger, but I found it suspicious how. Have you noticed? Speaking of, this is actually a whole other can of worms. Have you noticed how Apple Have you noticed how Apple on their website has been no longer offering compare pages on their devices pages directly to the direct processor? Like for example, for the M4 Mac Mini, it doesn't offer a direct. I don't believe that site offers a direct comparison to the M2 like on the M4 Mac Mini advertisement page.
Yeah, I actually had to look up what the difference between M4 Pro and my M1 Max would be.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a little bit
It's so
annoying.
crazy what Apple's like. I'm like, I want to know the differences between this year and last year, not the Series 3, which is obsolete and has been for 2 years. I want to know what the Apple Watch Series 10 is better than the Series 9.
It's like Apple forgot about the enthusiast market.
Yes. Or it's like they forgot about the enthusiast market in that form, but then, which mind you, even though average Joes want to know how it's better than the previous year, but also, it seems that thinking about the enthusiast market maybe with Apple Intelligence, which we're not getting into that in this episode. We know you've heard way too
To
much
sum it
about
up, it's a
that.
bunch of BS.
And I've been
Yes,
living
or
with it.
a
It's
lot of artificial. What?
it's
Sorry,
not
what,
that
Tabby?
wonderful. I've been living with Apple Intelligence.
I have it on my MacBook too, and I have to say it's not great. And the only and a lot of artificial intelligence was used to create Apple Intelligence, and the only I will admit there I am actually using ChatGPT for one thing now.
So
So I'm in a coding class right now, and it's wrapping up now, but we're starting to develop so much more complex programs that sometimes when I'm having to debug big issues, like right now I'm actually building a clone of Snake,
mm,
and me, my partner, and my coding teacher, we've been stuck on a bug for 2.5 days. However, I copied my code over into the chat GPT and asked it to fix it, and it managed to fix it, but we still don't know how
Yeah,
to
that's
fix
a
it
problem.
ourselves.
yeah, I have heard that's
But yes,
something that ChatGPT does well.
yeah, ChatGPT it doesn't usually do programming that well, but I mean it does okay. I mean I mean coding is to be fair with coding, obviously a computer might be the best help to understand computers, but
Out of
otherwise,
curiosity, which
no.
language are you learning? Ah, okay. I'm still
JavaScript.
trying to figure out Python.
However, in the current coding class I'm in now we're just learning the fundamental. We're still learning the fundamentals to all programming languages, but if I were to move to the next level up of coding, which next year, which I don't know if I'll do, which I might do, that means that I'll start learning more of a specific language. And if I take AP computer science at my school, which I doubt I'll do just because I'm not going to college. If I do AP computer science, then you take the AP exam in a specific
Hmm.
language.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Python for my project. Yeah, I can do M and G just fine, no problems, but Python is just a freaking nightmare. Ugh.
What's
Python is definitely an
MNG?
interesting one, man.
You've used Python too?
One of my good friends in person has a lot of experience with that type of stuff, and I've used Python, but I haven't really done that much creating of stuff on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
something,
I need
man.
it so I can control this and a bunch
Yeah, I
more of
remember
these.
that. I remember
Is
yeah.
uh what is MNG
It's
again?
a coding language for CNC machines.
I know. I assume so, but I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, it's called M and G because, for the most part, with the small handful of exceptions, basically every command you give starts with either M or G. Hence why it's called
That's
M and
pretty.
G.
That's pretty good. Yeah, it's like patterns that I'm picking up in French class right now. to have to deal with verbs, which, oh boy, French class is not exactly an easy
Have you
class
watched
right now.
Loic Schuberville on YouTube Shorts by chance?
You've
He's the
mentioned you
funniest
you've
guy
mentioned
out there when
him.
it comes to pointing out the problems between our languages. It's so funny. Uh,
Yes.
Anywho, we got way off topic. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the Apple Watch Series 10, but does anybody have any more thoughts about that, or shall we move on to the iPad Mini 7?
I think I'm just about good with the Series 10. Definitely not something that I'm gonna buy.
I'm still debating getting it because
No,
my
me neither.
Series 7's kind of worn out. I mean, I got a lot of scratches in the
So
display,
is mine.
and also the speaker on it's just gone, dead. It don't exist anymore. So
Yeah,
I thought about upgrading to replace it that, and I mean, which color, which finish was it? Was it that titanium gold? Something
Yeah,
about it
I
just
think
catches
so.
my eye, and I love it.
I like the titanium. I like the silver titanium best, but that's just
Well, I'd
me.
also get the titanium model for the stronger glass because, I mean, considering the environment that I work in,
Yeah.
yeah, might want a little sapphire infused into it to resist sharp tools scratching it.
Yeah, I kind of want a Sapphire Apple Watch too, and I do not work in, I don't work in intense work environments.
yeah. I've been using the Sapphire one for since 2021. Um, well, I got my first Sapphire one back then, but I've had mine for just under a year now, my Series 9, and it's still in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of damage on the stainless steel from when I dropped it, but it is in good condition. Not really that many scratches on the screen, if any, honestly.
So yeah, I'm debating about doing that next year. Oh wait, oh no, I just have to have an iPhone that's running iOS 18 to use it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I have to upgrade again because I don't update iOS on my phones. I have to wait. I have to upgrade my Apple Watch when I update my phone.
So yeah, still debating on getting it. Just gotta wait for finances to balance out. Oh my gosh, have they been a nightmare for the past 4 months?
I understand. College is, well, I've never been to college, but it sounds like a nightmare.
So, all right, that's it. I've wrapped up my thoughts on that. What's next?
The iPad Mini 7, which its primary new feature is Apple Intelligence support, which I don't care about, and the fact that this has the A17 Pro chip, which once again there is no standard A17 chip like I thought this would have. So therefore, the A17 Pro in this is useless. But here's my first thoughts on the iPad Mini 7, which I did get in a 128 gigabyte variant. Number one, why did Apple run out of printer ink? This color is very, very washed
What color is
out
that?
in contrast to the iPhone 6. Blue. It's
That
supposed
looks
to be
like
blue.
silver.
Blue.
It really does on.
Yeah.
It kind of does in real life. Nice. I'm
That's
not
not
color.
blue.
I'm pretty sure I'm not colorblind, and I'm pretty sure. And this looks like silver to me
Yeah, it's just like
too.
the blue.
Wait a minute. This is a blue iPad, right? I gotta check. I gotta check something.
Reminds me of the 15 blue, the regular 15 blue. It, to me, it's not blue. It looks
Yeah.
white. It just looks like a cool white.
Oh,
I hate what Apple's doing with their
did all of
colors.
the blue? Wait. Did all of the blue paint come off this iPad? Like, I'm genuinely wondering because I swear this iPad was blue when I first got it.
Maybe you
Because
just
I
got used
swear
to
the
it.
paint came off this iPad. What?
Maybe you got used to it, or maybe you're losing your sight after looking at these stupid colors.
I don't think I'm losing my sight, but let me look back at my. Let me look back at my. Yeah, I'm pretty. All right, that's a bit. That's enough of that. But this iPad, which is supposed to be blue, although okay, I see maybe just a tiny. This apparently now silver iPad. Things I like about it, it's a good solid iPad. And although I had a bit of trouble getting used to the mini iPad for smaller size that compared to my previous iPad Air 5, which was my main iPad for almost the entirety of TIFP. Which yeah, now this is how you do a real blue. No, why is this case dirty?
Yeah,
But
that was a
it
pretty
Yeah,
was a
nice
bit.
blue.
It was a
honestly,
bit.
I kind of miss that
It was a
about.
bit to get you. It was a bit to get used.
Yeah, I kind of miss.
It was a bit to get used to the blue finish on my iPad or not the blue finish. I love the blue finish on my Air 5, but it took a little bit used to for the first couple of days to adjust to the smaller screen size of my Mini 7. But once I did that, I decided I really like this iPad now. And the main reason why I got the iPad Mini 7 is because my iPad Air 5, its battery life was starting to get pretty bad, and iPad 15 was starting to get a little bit older. And I didn't have these issues when I first got it, but it was having the same. It started having the same overheating issues that Alpha had on his iPad Air 5.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you had this listed somewhere down further in your notes because your notes are refusing to update again, but you're not the only one who got a new iPad.
That's me. That's because I'm out of iCloud Store.
Yeah, I was gonna say
What?
you're not the only one who got a new iPad.
No, you had your M4 iPad Pro before the
Did
podcast
I?
went on
Oh,
hiatus.
come to think of it, yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right.
you had that. You had that. Yeah, I need to maybe tonight will finally be the night. Maybe I need to buy more iCloud storage. Although I need to get my photos to stop syncing to my iCloud
Yeah,
too.
that's one reason why that's happening.
But yeah, I need to get more iCloud storage so they'll.
But
All right. Well, do you have any more thoughts on the iPad Mini 7, or shall I move on to the M4 MacBook Pro now?
I don't really have much to say about it, honestly.
I'm just grateful that I finally got the update it deserved. But
So am I.
other than that, no, not really.
All right. Well, now we shall move on to the M4 MacBook Pro, which my mom actually wants one for Christmas, but the M4 MacBook Pro, I mean, its leaks were a little bit interesting, I'll say that. But other than that, the M4 MacBook Pro, I mean, it's a good upgrade. It's not anything notable, but it's not a bad computer. And however, even though my M3 Pro MacBook Pro is no longer the latest, consequently, I mean, I'm fine with that because this MacBook is still going to be a great MacBook, and I plan on keeping my current 2023 MacBook Pro until 2027, or I'll obviously keep it afterwards, but I'll get a new MacBook in 2027. That's not a collector's item.
New MacBook?
Yeah, I'll probably upgrade my Mac in 2027 because my general rule of thumb is that iPads are generally upgrade every 2.5 years or around that point. Because I use iPads so much. iPhones, Apple Watches, and AirPods are usually 3 years, and then Macs are every 4 years. Although I'm not sure if it'll be a MacBook Pro because I'll be an adult at by 2027, so my life is going to be a whole lot different than it is now.
I'm
Yeah.
still using my M1 Pro just fine. Its battery isn't the
Yeah,
same, but
the M1 Pro is a good computer.
yeah, the battery life on it has not been the same since day one, but yeah.
What do you expect? You can buy a
Yeah,
replacement
other
battery
than
if you want
that,
to.
honestly, it
Oh,
still
I
feels brand new
don't
to
think
me.
that's a good idea.
I mean, it's a good. The M1 Pro MacBook Pro, it's a good computer. I mean, aside from the HDMI port and SD card slot, which to be honest, I would eliminate, but
I mean, honestly, you know, it's nice to have them rather than not have them.
yeah. Or I don't know. They make the MacBook thicker, which is why I don't like them. Also, they're obsolete standards.
Apple would have made them thicker anyway. Apple just loves to mess with
And
stuff.
supposedly there are new reports
Yeah,
where uh, the next MacBook Pro redesign, it's going to go back to being thinner again.
I'm stoked for that.
Same. Honestly, I think one of the
Oh yeah, that's
biggest
gonna be
hardware
sweet.
complaints I have with my MacBook Pro is I think it is just too thick and too heavy.
Yeah, it's not too heavy, but it's definitely I like the way of my 2019 a lot better, which actually let me grab my 2019. Which this is my 2019 MacBook Pro. Man, this is interesting. And I accidentally turned it on.
Whoops.
This used to run TIFP for the early part of it.
I would love to have one of those just as a collector's item because it's the last MacBook Pro with a touch. Well, the last big MacBook Pro with a touch bar.
Yeah, it's the touch bar. I want Apple to bring back the touch bar in the next super cycle.
Did
It was such a good concept. Why did the touch bar have to die?
stupid investors and stupid haters.
If you really want function row keys, just give a touch bar and function row keys. If function row
They
keys are
clearly
that
have the room for
important.
both.
Yes. Although, alright, shall we move on to the M4 Mac Mini now?
Oh wait, hold on. Can I just point out a fun fact about my video on the MacBook Pros when that was announced? I actually recorded that video the day before the announcement, talking about all of its new features and such, and minus the fact that, okay, I guess it now has Thunderbolt 5 in center stage, which, I mean, nice that it has those now.
Wait, the M3 didn't have center
No!
stage? Man,
This doesn't have center stage. My
I don't
computer
think
doesn't have
so.
center stage. Huh.
But yeah,
Well, I
but yeah,
learned
minus
something new
those two
today.
details, I think I got pretty much everything else right with the balloons to celebrate. And I recorded this video the day before it launched.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy because I remember back when the weekend that the M4 or around the same time the M4 MacBook Pro leaked. My video on the truth behind Apple's confirmed rumors video script. I actually scripted that I think on the Saturday before I made that video, whereas I usually script my videos the day before if I have a script because I was going on a trip. And I remember back when I was on the trip and I was watching all these rumors unfold and I remember thinking, oh my, I might have to do some tweaking. But luckily that video came out fine, so. Which, speaking of trips, I guess I should mention that there will be 2 weeks there will be 2 weeks in June when I will not be able to be on, or 1 or 2 weeks in June when I won't be able to be on the show because I'll be traveling to other
Ooh.
countries.
other countries.
Care to share?
Yeah. I'll be in France and England.
Oh man.
Jealous. Have fun being on the wrong side of the road in England.
Yep. I mean, I won't be driving there because I don't think you can get an international driver license until you're 18.
It's still
But
gonna be one of the weirdest feelings ever. Like I've started, again, a sad hobby of mine is I will Street View road trip using Google Street View. I had started a trip through England, and let's just say it is weird. Just clicking up to drive on the wrong side of the road like
Yeah,
that. It is just weird.
did you know that there is actually a place in that there is actually, well, a district in the United States when you drive on the left side of the road.
Oh, there's plenty of times where that happens, like the Divergent Diamond Interchange.
No, I'm not talking about interchanges. I'm talking in the U.S. Virgin Islands. You always drive on the left side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's where you drive. That's the only place in the U.S. where you drive on the left permanently.
Well, other than that, yeah, I'd say we wrapped up MacBook stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to one of a country ruled by the EU.
Oh no.
Make sure you leave plenty of middle
Yes.
fingers behind.
You'll probably get arrested for doing that
I'll
there.
try.
Probably, yeah, actually.
What?
He
What
said,
did Tabby say?
Said you'd probably get arrested for doing that there.
yeah.
That's true.
All right. What's next? M4 Mac Mini?
Yes, I love
Cold
the
take,
M4 Mac
best
Mini.
product of the year.
Oh yeah,
I-
that's such a good computer.
It is. It's smaller. It's still $600 for. Still starts at $600.
$500 for
It's a
student
steal.
discount.
That is, I'm gonna try and do one of those. I'm gonna try and get one of those soon, sooner than you
Yeah.
might think.
I mean, I can't get student discounts because apparently high school students don't need them. But
Oh yeah, did I mention I get student discount for my iPad? Again? No .edu email required?
yes, you did.
Yeah, I did the same with my iPad.
All right, I just have to do some chair reconfiguration.
So,
All right, yeah, the M4 Mac Mini. It's a cool. I know that the M4 Pro Mac Mini, like if you spec it out, it technically costs as much as $1 more than two base level Mac Minis. But other than that, but I mean, aside from that, which I mean, even that's not a big deal. I mean, aside from that, the M4 Mac Mini is a really good deal, and
I want
Yeah,
one
it's
for
just
my
really
music
cool.
set.
I understand for they're really cool.
My one issue with this new Mac Mini. Why is the power button on the bottom?
Oh,
Why
I
is it
forgot
on the
about that.
bottom?
Yes, that is so stupid.
That confused me too.
I mean, is it going to be the end of the world that it's on the bottom? No. But can I still criticize it for bad design? Yes. Yes, I can.
Yes, you need to access the power button. It's stupid, and you have to buy a $70 power button adapter just to use the power
$70,
button. Like,
huh?
yes, Apple I think has a $70
No, they
power
don't.
button
It was
for
a
Mac
meme on the
No
internet.
way.
Mini.
It's
I
just a
believed
meme on the
it.
internet.
I believe the basic Apple. I believe the basic Apple guy's
Ugh.
meme. That actually sounds realistic.
You know
to be
that
honest.
he does have a point. Yeah, I think Apple totally would do something like that.
Yeah, that was so realistic. I thought it was real. Again, you have to be careful with what you post on the internet for it's convincing. If it's seems ridiculous enough,
Oh
it might be
yeah.
real.
Uh, so
All right, shall we talk about the M4 iMac now?
Sure. Stupid product.
I mean, I like the M4 iMac. I mean, it's a decent product. I'm sure it has, or yeah, it does have center stage,
It's
which
cool, but
I
it's
like the idea
stupid
of.
because they should have put the Pro processor in it,
agreed.
or at least allowed you to spec it out with
Agreed.
the Pro. I would
Yeah,
have one.
that if you can do it on the M4, if you can do it on the Mac Mini, there's no way you shouldn't be
They
able
need
to
to
do it
come
on
out
the
with a larger
iMac.
screen option.
Just
Yes, too. Like if Apple used to have 27-inch iMacs. Whatever happened with that?
Yeah, and nowadays, 27 inches is like the standard for your monitor size.
such
Or is that
nonsense
just
to me.
me?
It's like it's like it's like the 27-inch iMac went out with Apple's real intelligence and was replaced with artificial
Yeah, I
intelligence.
look, I get the whole, oh, it looks good in the home or at a reception desk thing, but come on, there's other people that want something like this too, but just need a little bit more out of it.
Exactly. The reason why I don't have an M4 iMac, I mean, other than the fact that I want to have a laptop, is that the reason why I don't have a new iMac is because it's not powerful enough for
For me,
me.
it's just the screen's too small.
Yeah.
Of course, the screen's too small with me. The screen's always too small with me.
Yeah. Yeah, as I mean, if I'm, or just a quick question, will I be the one editing this episode?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
But, yeah.
All right. But I mean, editing podcast episodes is probably something that the M4 couldn't do as well as an M4 Pro.
I mean, M4 is supposedly going to be more powerful than my M1
But
Pro. So,
yeah, I mean, M4 is. I'm not saying it's not capable, but I'm just saying like still you should be able to get an M4 Pro iMac.
yeah. And then for me, the big one. Literally, the big one. Where's the bigger screen option?
Exactly, but shall I talk about something we've already hinted at, which is the new AirPods
Oh!
Max?
Something tells me, depending on if I can get them fixed or not, I'm going to be in the market a lot sooner than I thought.
I mean, the new AirPods Max. I mean, I don't like how they changed color options, and I mean, the not having the H2 chip isn't exactly the coolest thing ever. But I mean, AirPods, especially for $550
I think
headphones.
they
But you
took.
know, and now Apple's embracing artificial intelligence.
I think they
What should you
took one
expect?
of basically everybody's biggest complaint about AirPods Max, aside from the price, is it just had lightning. If it's had lightning for, this is the wrong cup. It's had lightning for way too many years, and they'd say they can't justify the expensive price unless it had USB-C. So, Apple gave them the one thing that they requested to justify the price, and it's USB-C. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like people. It's not like there's any other flaws of AirPods Max. Like, I don't know. I think. Hang on, let me grab my AirPods Max that don't work.
Oh, well, yeah, I
AirPods Max.
guess we're both in the club. Hey,
Which, I
Tabbies,
don't
is yours
know.
working?
I mean,
Right now, surprisingly, mine is.
yeah, I mean, the
Not sure how
broader
long
AirPods
for, though.
case, and
That's another
the
problem.
wider
They
AirPods
still
case,
haven't fixed this
You didn't
stupid
think
thing
Apple-
yet.
Yeah, and I mean, couldn't that technically count as like not being inclusive? Like I don't want to get too into that for obvious reasons, but I'm just saying that Apple could design such a better case for AirPods Max than, well, the bra.
Or the upper part of one's jeans. At least if you have the blue case, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm wearing jeans right now.
So many mistakes with that case. The case itself is a giant mistake.
Yes. Why even have a case if
Yeah.
it's not even that
But
useful?
I'm probably going to have to get these replaced because they stopped working. I mean, they still have a charge. Like, if I push... Where's the button? Let's see if I can get it on camera. Hello? The LED was working.
You don't see it.
Plugging them in. Yep, it's working. Fully charged.
My mom's AirPods Max have my AirPods Max have the exact same issue because they're literally fully charged. But then when I actually go try to pair them and play music out of them, they just don't work.
Yep.
I mean, I don't listen to my own music for. Sometime I might sign up for Apple Music just so I have my own musical library. Have my own music library, but
Yeah, they still don't want to connect to anything. And not even the cable works. The cable doesn't work. So, I can't use them.
that's
They're now a paperweight.
That's too bad. But do you have any more thoughts about the new AirPods Max, or shall I move on to some hearing aids?
Aren't I technically wearing hearing aids right now? Or
Technically, I am too. Technically, I am
so I
too,
think
and
we're
I'm
all wearing hearing
16.
aids at this point. Despite that mine don't work, actually.
Yes, because AirPods Pro 2.
My microphones are cluttered again. The ANC and transparency don't work. All right, time to throw them in the wash
Oh,
again.
man.
Yeah, my AirPods Pro 2 are now the AirPods Pro 2 now have a hearing aid functionality, which speaking of, have you guys seen Apple's latest holiday ad
Yes.
for the hearing aid
Yes.
functionality? It's such a good ad. It's so much better than Apple's
Yes.
previous ads.
So much better.
It's like the dad, for context, this dad has trouble hearing, so he put in his AirPods Pro 2, which mind you are much cheaper than regular hearing aids. And now he can properly hear his daughter play music on a guitar that she got for Christmas. Such a sweet ad. And it's so much better than the mom creating using AI to create that Apple Intelligence ad where the mom used AI to create a video because she forgot to get her husband a Christmas present or a birthday present, excuse me. Does Tabby have any thoughts about our hearing aids?
No, I haven't tested the feature yet, but it sounds cool. I like how Apple's trying to make things like that kind of more accessible for the general public.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody's hearing degrades as they get older, and
Unfortunately.
my grandmother doesn't like to wear earbuds, but she's in the market for hearing aids, and so I told her about these, and my dad suffer, and my dad because of his old loud job, he as a result suffered hearing loss too, and I mean he's getting older now too, so as a result he has AirPods Pro too, so I told him about the hearing aids feature, and I don't know if he uses it now or not.
You should have been in
I
the
don't think so,
shop
though.
yesterday. I could have swore we were at like 150 decibels for hours upon hours.
That shop does not sound like a pleasant place to work.
It's not usually that loud, actually. Usually the loudest things are air guns, but not yesterday.
Yeah. Was there a lot of loud machinery?
Big tools in big parts. And the bigger the tool, the more noise it makes.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, I understand that. But shall I move on to Tabby's Asus ROG Ally now?
Sure. You know, it's a great console. The hardware is amazing. But come on, Microsoft, screw you.
Classic!
Yeah, and I think Valve is in the process of licensing SteamOS to be the SteamOS operating system to be run on the Asus ROG Ally because Windows is so bad.
I mean, seriously. How do you screw up something as simple as a gaming device when you own Xbox?
Honestly,
I can't with Microsoft, dude.
Honestly, I think this thing will run much better than that, despite its age.
Oh, by the way, shall we talk about how Alpha fixes iMac?
I don't want to interrupt Tabby's thing. Let
Oh,
Tabby
yeah.
finish first.
No, it's good. It's just like, I swear, Microsoft is just on some other stuff when they're. I don't understand how they just see this and they're like, yeah, we're doing good
Well, that's
things.
why you.
We're helping
Yeah,
the
that's
world.
why you. That's why there's this saying: on a scale of 1 to all of them, how many drugs are they on? Clearly, they're on all of them.
They really.
Yeah.
They're acting that way. I mean, I'm honestly just
They're on more drug.
so
The
tired.
Microsoft employ. I'll bet you that the kids at my school who vape in my school bathrooms. I'll bet you they're gonna grow up and become Microsoft employees.
Something.
Wouldn't doubt it.
But I mean, if Tabby's finished, I could move on to my thing.
Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right. The iMac works. Actually, here. Switch. Whoop, let's not drop it.
For context, the graphics on it were dying, so he fixed it. And guess what he finally did to it, people? Something I've been begging him to do for 3 years.
I also swapped out the hard drive for an SSD.
Finally, which I guess I should. To be fair, I haven't done this on my '08 iMac yet, though. I haven't largely messed with my '08 iMac in quite a while, just because.
And look how fast it
my
boots.
iMac
Look,
works now,
just watch
so-
how fast this thing boots.
I know those old Intel Macs when you put SSDs in them, it's crazy how fast
It's
they boot.
nuts. Almost there. Boom, we're loaded.
Not bad for a 15-year-old computer.
And it's going to run a lot more stable than whatever runs Windows.
Yes, exactly. I would much rather. I will use an old Intel Mac over a Windows computer any day. Except for in my school classrooms, I have Windows computers because that's my only choice. Other than my school iPad.
Oh yeah, my keyboard's not paired to this at the moment. But yeah, I basically I found on eBay same exact model logic board as this, so it has the exact same GPU, but I mean obviously in much nicer condition. See, the biggest issue that I had with this, yes, it was slow, but that wasn't part of it. The biggest issue was the graphics was actually failing. This thing could not handle the simplest video playback. It couldn't handle a YouTube video. It couldn't handle a QuickTime downloaded video. It couldn't handle any of that stuff. It was so choppy, and because it was trying to catch up with the video, oftentimes it would cut the audio out as well. And just in general, its GPU basically had enough. So I found for $20 on eBay a replacement logic board because the GPU is soldered. Tore this whole thing apart effectively. I wish I could have filmed it, but my grandpa doesn't like being on camera, and I did need his assistance for one particular item. So, but I got the new GPU in this thing. I got an SSD in this. And I also got my wireless switch because this is a slightly modified iMac, if you can't tell by this switch right here.
Yes, I can tell.
Trust me, it is very necessary on this particular machine. It's because I swapped out
What is that?
this right here. This is a switch that actually kills the power to the Bluetooth module.
Huh.
I need it to turn it on because in combination with this is running macOS Catalina. It's not supposed to run macOS Catalina. In combination with that, and I upgraded the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth card into this to support AirDrop. That's something I care about a lot. The problem is on boot, the components just don't agree with each other. So I found if you kill the Bluetooth, the system will boot normally, and then if you, I'll show you the basic process. Let me turn it off real quick. All right, so screen is off. If I try turning it back on with Bluetooth still on, we get a white screen. And that's it. We're stuck at a white screen. It does nothing else. We're basically stuck at this step. So if I kill this real quick, and I kill the Bluetooth with this aftermarket switch, turn it back on.
Well, it's supposed to
There we
boot.
go. Got some screen here that comes up because, again, I'm running an operating system it shouldn't.
I believe you chose to have verbose boot on though, for you can do that on any Mac.
And now I can turn
For my
Bluetooth
2010
back
Mac
on.
Pro, which is patched to macOS Catalina, doesn't do that.
That's how I have to turn this computer on. So.
Sounds not horrible given
Yeah.
what you did to it.
So yeah, other than I had to modify that switch in and modify the boot process, it's a fully functional iMac.
That's really
What did you use
cool.
for patching, DOS Dude?
Yeah.
That's pretty good patcher.
Yeah, DOS Dude has some really
Yeah,
good
I
patchers. The problem is he
oh.
stopped at macOS Catalina and I can't find any of his... Does he have more than Catalina? Because I have not found one for anything past it.
So
No, he does not.
he doesn't. You can use OpenCore. It's a bit more complicated, but it's possible. It's just a little bit more complicated, a little bit more annoying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you have to, like, one thing, if you want to patch a really old Macs to macOS Ventura or higher, because they killed support for USB 1.1, you have to get, on old Intel Macs like that, you have to get dedicated USB 2.0 adapters, so that way they will work, so that way you can use the keyboard and mouse upon setup.
I mean, I use Bluetooth peripherals, so...
Which is part of the reason why I haven't patched. No, Bluetooth won't work. Bluetooth won't work at first. You have to install the patcher, and then you have to install the macOS version, and then you have to run the patches through. Yeah, it's a complex process.
Well, other than that, I mean,
It's not as bad as Linux, but it's
yeah. Well,
kind of like that.
yeah, it's nice. I got my iMac working again. Now I just need to find a spot for it. So,
Pretty good.
Can't you just set your iMac back on your desk?
no, and here's why. Make sure I don't have anything too revealing.
No, no.
Nope, I don't. All right. Oh, yep, I do. My
I
essay.
have a feeling I'm about to see.
Can't have that. All right. This is the desk right now. There is no room for the iMac.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
let's put you back.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah, I forget what your new setup is like because I'm so used to your older setups. I just kind of forget. I forget what your new setup is like. But again, your setup has changed a lot more than mine because my setup has been. Well, this exact setup has been. I mean, I've made minor modifications to my setup, but it's for the most part kind of the same.
Yep. I'll find a spot for it eventually, but as of right now, that is yet to be determined.
All right. Well, now shall we talk about the rumors for the M4 MacBook?
You go ahead and get
Air?
a start on that. I need to use the bathroom.
Okay, so basically, the M4 MacBook Air has leaked in some code for a macOS beta or something.
What are they doing?
I mean, it's just gonna be a basic refresh from what the rumors are saying, but
That's not
they just
bad.
leak. You know, sometimes Apple leaks feature Macs and code for current beta macOS versions.
Yeah,
That's the same type of situation that happened with the
makes sense.
coming in for MacBook Air. So let Audi out.
Hmm.
I just want my cat out.
Oh, which cat?
My Rowdy.
Oh,
And now Ron also wants out.
Ron.
That's my only cat in here. And Beezus is currently sleeping on my bed.
Beezus.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I named her after a book character, which is when I was 10, so
Oh yeah.
that's why. So that's where her name comes from. Her full name, just like the character in the book, is technically Beatrice.
Oh, that's cool.
But my dad and I have in the past couple years started calling her BZ.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Toyota BZ4X or something,
Yeah,
whatever their
don't
horrible
remind me.
EV is.
Oh, speaking of which, have you got your one toilet working yet?
Oh yes, we did. Yes, we fixed after. Yes, so for context, my and I have had some issues with things and people breaking down. So first of all, I got sick with a cold that lasted for nearly a little over a week, and consequently, I ran a fever on Thanksgiving morning, so we couldn't have our normal Thanksgiving dinner. And then I got most of my family sick. And now literally everybody at my school is basically sick with what I had.
Oh man.
So we have that. So we had people breaking down. And now on Black Friday, once I felt well enough to go to my grandmother's house, I was gonna go there, and my car refused to start.
What are you doing about that?
So we figured out that was because of my car's battery. Which, if you saw one of this video, you'll know that it was its car. Did I mention that was my car's original battery?
Yeah, you did.
That was 11 years old. An 11-year-old car battery.
I've already had to do a battery replacement in my car.
well, most American-made batteries don't last for more than 3 years, but my car battery still going strong, or it was going strong. I mean, now I just have a die-hard battery in it.
Are those
Which my
good?
video about that was sparked a little bit of a controversy because people are saying, because for context, my video about my car battery replacement was how much will Advance Auto give me for my old car battery. However, everybody in that comment on that video pointed out how they were just simply refunding me for a core charge, which I mean that was technically what they were refunding for me for, but they were giving me money for that.
Hmm.
But and then last weekend, my toilet had been having issues the previous week, and it just completely gave out.
Yeah, my toilet's been messed up
And
too.
then, and then the shower gave out, and then the
Bro,
tub
what's going
gave
on with your
out, owing to a
plumbing?
sewer
Is your
issue.
plumbing broken?
Shoot. So as a result, we had to have a plumber come and fix all that, and I had to go, and I had to go out, and I had to go out like in public 4 times on Sunday because the toilet because my toilet was broken, just so that way I could use the restroom in other places. Like I kid you not, at 8 o'clock at night when I had to go number two, I had to go to my local Walgreens for
Oh
the
my
second time that day.
gosh.
Oh God.
That was a little bit of an eerie. That was a little bit of an eerie feeling, just because I was all alone in that bathroom. Usually, I turn on the fan in my
Nobody
bathroom.
wants
This
to take
day,
a shit in the Walgreens
No.
bathroom, man.
I ha- I had to do
Nobody
it.
wants to do
Luckily it
that.
was a clean restroom. What?
Nobody wants to do that.
No, no, I do not like to go number. I do not like to go number two in public.
Especially in a damn pharmacy bathroom.
I know, like it was a bit of an, especially seeing the fire alarm on there, and I was the only person in there. Like that was an eerie feel. Like even though the store was safe, it was a little bit of an eerie feeling going out at 8 o'clock at night just to use the restroom.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. And
The first time I went to Walgreens that day, I at least got Christmas decorations, and I filled up my car to completely full, and I think it still might be full now because I might have overfilled it a little bit into its reserve tank.
Let me see how much gas I have in my car right now. I
You can
have
check that from your
Yeah, I
phone.
have 16% in my tank, which is 45 miles.
let's see what I got.
Not bad. Not too bad.
So I should
Yeah, it's cool. These
probably
connected
get gas
cars,
in
you
the
can
next few days.
actually see some of their live stats.
Hold on 1 second. I'm getting a
My
call.
car
I'll be
does
right
it.
back.
My car doesn't support that though because it's older. But did you get the gist of the M4 MacBook Air leaking
Yeah.
macOS code for an upcoming beta? All right, that's good. All right, we'll wait for Tabby to get back before we
Mm-hmm.
move on to our next topic.
I'm at 47% fuel. I'm actually not sure how
Not
accurate
bad.
that is because I parked my car on a hill. So 148 miles till
Yeah,
empty.
my car, my car will state range in the car, but my car doesn't support any remote
Yeah.
features or anything like that.
Yep.
Because I have an old car. However, my dad and I have talked about it, and we are thinking about possibly having me get a Tesla
I'm back.
for late 2026,
What?
What's going on?
mid to late 2026. Yeah,
Dude.
Oh, what's going on?
I might be upgrading to a Tesla Model or 3, or else if they release a Model 2 that
Bruh.
they lay in mid to late 2026.
Wow.
Yes, I'm super excited for that. And another car news, I guess I'm getting further and further ready to fix the car dent, the annoying dent in my car from that Tacoma. It wasn't supposed to be in the park. That wasn't supposed to be parked the way it was.
It's always trucks, man. Every time.
Yeah. Now, granted, I did technically back into the truck, but that truck was parked in a position to diagonally take up like 4 parking spots, and he was just sitting there with his hazard lights on, not even doing anything.
He's got a stupid car.
Oh yeah, and
Well, the car
then when I
itself
talked
isn't
to the
really
guy,
stupid. The dude is stupid if he's taking
Yeah.
up all the damn parking
yeah,
spots. Who does that?
yes, exactly. Exactly. Bad parking always leads to accidents. Like, I can't believe how socially acceptable bad parking is because, again, this is another side tangent, but that guy, but that, now granted, well, I will give him credit where his due is that the guy, I'm pretty sure, was an immigrant from another country, and
Is
so
it
maybe in his
acceptable
home
there?
country that's normal. Driving laws are different in other
I also think they
countries, you
typically have
know?
smaller
I
vehicles.
mean,
We're kind of a oddball.
Well, I mean, to be honest, smaller vehicles might be a good thing
Yeah,
in
because we have
America.
way too many big ones, in my opinion.
Yes, there needs to be more sedans in the
Well, not only that,
market.
just pickup trucks are too big in general.
pickup
Yeah,
truck
the
beds
pickup
are
truck.
getting smaller too. It's not like, I mean, what are you gaining by using a pickup truck now?
No, if pickup trucks are getting bigger, it better be because of a bigger
Sadly, that's not the
bed.
case.
The beds are getting smaller year by year. The only thing that
Yes,
most people
how
need pickup
stupid is
trucks for is
that?
their own ego.
Yep.
They need to haul their
I
ego,
mean,
man.
like occasionally for hauling furniture, but that's not that often.
Maybe once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
still questioning why my friend bought a.
But shall we move on? Shall we get back on topic for last topic? Or hang
I
on,
was
what were you
gonna
gonna
say
say,
one of my
Alpha?
friends. You might recognize him from the Drive channel. He had recently bought a 2012 F-150, upgraded from his Ranger supposedly.
Yeah.
He still can't park that thing to save his life.
Man.
People are so bad. Sometimes people, I swear, are getting worse at parking.
Yeah.
Because I've had to, because I've gotten it almost, because I've had to really do some creative maneuvering out my parking spot twice at school now. Oh yeah, I forget. Even though I have a reserved parking spot, if I arrive at my school late, apparently my spot's gonna get stolen no matter what.
I wonder if it's illegal to put like honey on their door handle so whenever they steal your spot,
Vandalism.
they have to go to the bathroom and wash. Oh man. It'd be funny if they had to
Yeah,
wash
that's
off honey from their
vandalism,
hands every time they steal someone's spot though.
but I can report that to the school authorities though, and they can take
They should just start
care of
calling the tow
that.
Is the
truck.
school gonna do that much? Oh yeah, honestly,
They really
if you
should
can't
start.
put your own car somewhere, you don't need it.
Yeah.
If you can't put your car in the
No,
proper
and
place, you obviously don't really need the thing. So,
my school really should call tow trucks, like especially for that Audi A6 that partially parked in
That,
my
and if I
parking
recall, who
spot.
pays for it?
The school should
Who
have
pays for
towed
the
that
tow
guy.
trucks? If I recall, it should be the person who's getting their vehicle towed. So if anything, it should be a
Yeah,
monetary
and more important.
incentive to park like a professional person, not a professional idiot.
Yes, and more important. Yes, and furthermore, did I tell you guys about this? About another parking incident I had at my school?
Name it.
what happened?
So I went. So I. It was the end of the school day. I was getting ready to come home. This is like in October, November. I was getting, I was fully in my parking spot, mind you, because my school has relatively big parking spots. And there was this really girl in this really beat up Ford. I think it was an Explorer. It was an older one, obviously, that had her two left wheels fully in my spot.
Oh, come on.
Now, mind you, I saw the driver use an e-cigarette,
Yep, of
so
course.
again, just go to show you the competence of the driver. But I had to, but in order to drive out of the parking, get out of the parking lot. No, it was in October actually. I had to do a full. I think I had to do like a full figure eight or something crazy like that, and I had to wait for other cars to clear out. Obviously.
Let me send you guys a photo of. So back when we, you know, this was in April of 2023, early May maybe, and this was right when I got the Q5,
Mm-hmm.
right? I
Oh, you
We didn't have
did.
home
Was it that
charging.
Ram that truck that parked like parked in four spots?
No, that happened this year. But I was sitting there.
Uh,
I wanted to charge this car because I didn't have home charging. I had the 120 volt
Yeah.
whatever, but I didn't have full home charging. So I had to park next to this idiot, this stupid, smelly idiot in this Nissan Pathfinder who was, for one, illegally parked in an EV only zone. Okay, that pissed me off to begin with
I think you
because,
told me about
I'm learning
that.
about this
yeah,
too.
who does that for one?
We call
And
them
then look at, I
we
was,
call them in the EV community. We call them ice holes.
I mean, yeah, he is an ice hole.
Oh yeah, this
I mean, look at
image.
the
Why are they called?
photos.
Why are they called
Oh,
ice holes?
what a
Look
douche.
at, because I couldn't get out through my door. I had to climb across the car.
Reminds me exactly of what I had to do that. Or I mean, it was on my right side, but it reminds me very. It sounds very similar to the parking incident I just described myself.
Yeah, what a complete douche.
That whole entire scenario. I was so mad because I'm like just trying to charge my car. And then I had to deal with this.
I understand.
And then I went to get a
I
cheeseburger.
mean, what?
That whole entire time I was like, this guy's gonna hit my car, this guy's gonna smash into my door. You know, I'm so I ended up just going back and just going home after I ate my cheeseburger because I'm like, it's not worth getting my, brand new door destroyed. To this day, I've yet to have any door dents in this car.
That's I don't have any Jordans in mine either,
I
but
unfortunately have a big
Probably
scratch
because
in
I just
mine.
parked
and at least they're not
properly.
caused by ice holes. But why are they called ice holes? By the way.
ICE is an acronym for internal combustion engine.
Oh,
Yep.
ice holes. Gotcha.
People who park their internal combustion engine vehicles in EV charging spots, those type of people are ice holes.
They just need to start
Don't
towing
be
these
an ice
guys.
hole,
Well, here's the thing
people.
that drives me
I feel
absolutely
like a lot of it's
mad. I
just
see so many signs that say EV charging only, vehicle will be towed if not followed. The problem is nobody follows through.
yeah. I mean, today I was
Exactly.
going home and I wanted to stop somewhere and they had chargers, and I was going to one of the chargers was blocked off by a barricade. One of the chargers was broken. All the rest of them were taken, and at the very end, the last one that I checked was taken by some idiot and not even he's there was one charger. Dude just parked there with his stupid Nissan Pathfinder. There were so many parking spots available around where you don't have to take up an EV charger. Come on. Grow up. Who
I
does that?
know. And at my school, there's other parking spots that are not reserved too that you can park in, which is not really helpful for those who steal reserved parking spots. And yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but shall I move on to our final topic? And then we
Sure.
can go on to random stuff.
Yeah.
So remember how the M2 Extreme was supposed to be for M2 Pros, I think?
I'm too extreme. Hold on, does
Yeah.
that
Remember
exist?
that rumored
No.
processor? No, remember that rumor though? For the for the M2 Mac Pro? Well, the Apple reportedly tried that again with with an M4 Extreme, but they once again failed. So there will once again be no differentiator between a Mac Pro and the Mac Studio, other than a big price increase and some small technical
I'd say just
advantages.
kill it.
The Mac
Yeah.
Pro.
Yeah, kill it.
Yeah.
We don't need it anymore. It was good in '06. No, it was good in the early years, but it's not necessary now.
Yeah.
I'd say it's done. Its purpose has been served. It's time to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is done. The purpose of the Mac Pro is as done as the purpose of Apple Intelligence and ice holes.
Okay.
I think that ice holes just they kind of think that they're better than everyone because their car still uses gas. And look, I'm not an
Yes,
EV hater. You know, I like them. My next car is going to be gas. That's for different reasons. But like, I'm not going to diss anyone's EV. They're cool cars,
I mean,
you
your
know?
family
I just
has.
want to,
yeah.
take advantage of the fact that I can
Wait. How? I
we have a bunch of them at this
I know. I
point.
know you have the ID4. Did you actually get the Macan?
Yeah, every car in the house right now is some form of
Oh,
EV.
sweet.
That's such a nice contrast to my house, which, I
Uh
mean, to
oh.
be fair, it's only me and my mom that live here, but it's her Mercedes G her Mercedes GLS 450 Yatza and my Mercedes C300
I
electric
am
combustion engine.
really hoping to be able to get an S4 next. I'm gonna get a job as soon as I can so I can get an S4. Like I am that serious about it. I want an S4. I should
I
probably
mean,
talk about
it's
the
a good.
Cayenne GTS
Oh
too.
right, you had that as a loaner car.
I imagine it's.
That was the
I
coolest
think
thing.
I think I saw a Porsche Cayenne once in person. For I rarely see Porsches in person, but around my area, but when I see them, they're really
The
awesome.
Cayenne GTS is a whole different, like, amazing. That car sounded so good. It was a twin turbo V8. And when you put it
Yeah,
into like manual mode or like Sport Plus, you gave it gas. Like you would go scary quick in that thing if you wanted to. But honestly,
yeah,
I drove that slower than my main car because I heard the engine
it's
noise.
kind
I'm
of like
like, when you're hearing that noise, you just want to drive for longer. You know, you don't care about getting to where
yeah,
you're going. You care about enjoying that. You know, doing launches off of that thing
yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah, it's like my dad. It's like driving my dad's M6 in Sport Plus mode because I mean, it's not. I
Right,
mean,
that's
my
like a
dad
V10,
because
right?
my dad. No, that's a V8, but my dad loves to. My dad loves accelerating hard on that car,
Oh yeah.
which to be honest is not good for the engine, but
I mean, cars like that, M cars, they're designed for that type of stuff. But like the GTS,
yeah,
that thing was so nice. I just I want something like that because I got into my Q5 and I'm like, man, I miss the sound. You know, like the
yeah.
numbers on the GTS might end up working out in the future. I just got to make a ton of money.
The Porsche Q or the Porsche
Yeah,
GTS, yeah.
Cayenne GTS.
I want someday to get a Porsche Taycan, but I have to make a ton of money first. Which, hey, if you want to help us to make a ton of money, please subscribe to the iTunes Fan Podcast, our YouTube channels, and yeah, please subscribe, and keep watching, tuning into our podcast. So that we can have enough money to buy a Porsche
Oh,
Taycan.
speaking of which, there's a new EV Cannonball record holder.
What is it?
2025 Porsche Taycan. 39 hours, 29 minutes.
Oh my,
That
Man,
is the first time an EV has done the
oh my gosh,
Cannonball
that
in under
sounds
40 hours.
incredible. I haven't really done really big long distance road trips that much, but man, that sounds like such a nice luxury.
the the Taycan is a really nice car. I told you guys I went to the track and I got to pin one
Yeah.
down, right? that was fun. Just
Yeah.
being able to like, it was a straightaway. I just kept on holding that like longer than I definitely got up to much faster than any highway in the U.S. would let you go.
It, if
Yeah.
But
yeah,
man,
Yeah.
if
I
I ever
can't.
come down to where you are, Tabby, you've got to get me in one of those.
I gotta try. I gotta find a way. Because those cars, like when I was on the track with that, it was, the response was great. You know, like driving the 911 on the track was fun too because I got to pin that
Yeah.
thing down entirely. That thing was fast though. Um, but the Taycan, it's like when I came out of that curve and I just hit it into the straightaway, there was no resistance, there was no wheel spin. It was, you felt all that power go to the wheels and you knew that you had control of the car, which is something that I can't say about something like the ID4 where it's like it is rear wheel drive and you can control it. It's got very precise steering. But if you're hitting it from a straightaway in the ID4, you you might slip a
Yeah.
little bit. You know, you have to kind of know how to you gotta know how to bring that back in.
Yeah, I totally agree. For sometimes my car accelerates so quickly that sometimes it fail. That sometimes I wind up going a little bit faster than I should on turns, especially because my mom one time complained about my mom frequently complains about how fast I turn, even though I turn at like 15 to 20 miles an
Same.
Oh,
hour.
I've turned at 40. I've turned at 40 before and I'm fine. I mean, it wasn't really
Yeah, I mean,
something that I do
Well, you
again, but
try
you just make a lot of noise when
try
you do it.
60.
Oh God. I do turns at like
I mean,
25, 30 and I'm fine. You know, it's I don't see a problem. I hate how people kind of represent like fast driving, not like even like faster than the speed limit, but like just like sport driving as
yeah,
like hooligan stuff because it's like if you're doing a launch
it's
control,
not if
if
it's
if you're doing
legal.
launch control, who is that who is that hurting? Oh, maybe my car's a little too loud. The Q5 is not loud at all. That thing does not,
No,
you couldn't hear it from inside my house, you know.
I've heard loud cars, but on an unrelated note, how come your voice suddenly sounds different, Tabby?
Oh, right now
Yeah.
my microphone may have changed. Let me check.
Yeah, because it sounds a little bit like you just got a bunch of, like there's a lot of helium around you.
Really?
Yeah, let's just say your pitch kind of increased just a
A
little
little
bit.
bit.
Huh. I'm on the same microphone. Let
There
me
we go.
try
Now it's back
muting
to
and unmuting.
normal.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now it sounds
Just
like the
Discord
normal
being weird, that's
Tabby.
all.
I have no idea what happened there. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't recall the last time I hit 60 miles an hour because it's been storming for like the past week or two, maybe three.
Yeah, yeah, we actually have had snow in my area, funny enough, and I live down south, but I hit 60 miles an hour almost every time I drive. Although to be fair, I technically drive on two-lane roads a lot of times with 55-mile-an-hour speed limits not because weirdly it drives me nuts how most states don't allow 60-mile-an-hour speed limits on roads on two-lane roads with shoulders, even though that's perfectly safe in most case scenarios.
Most of the time I hit 60 just kind of warming my car up. Well, not really
Yeah,
60, more
exactly.
like
I mean,
59.
yeah, exactly. Like these 50, like there's some speed limit, like although to be fair, there's a lot of states in the United States, especially my own, that are crazy with speed limits,
Yeah.
which I've
They
gone into in other
flip out about nothing.
episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, like it's apparently okay to drop the speed limits down to 55 miles an hour in big cities. on freeways, which I think is just ridiculous, given that in Salt Lake City you can go 70 there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's so stupid the way that some people treat the speed limit.
I know, I know too, because I mean, I don't, now granted I follow speed limits, but my mom just, but it drives me nuts how people don't always like sporty driving, because it's cool to, it's fun to be, because, why can't I have fun in my car when I drive?
Yeah. It's like a lot of the times people just like think that you're doing like thug stuff. It's like,
Yeah, it's like I'm suddenly a thug for turning at 15 miles an
what is going on
hour.
outside my house?
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm not in your house, so I don't know.
No, there's a
Do we have
fire
any more
truck.
topics that we like to cover, though?
No, I think we should end this here because there's some fire truck going down my road.
This is the second episode that we've had to deal with emergency vehicles nearby
I want to check this out.
somebody's house.
I'm gonna head out because this is like right on my road. But
Well, I understand, so...
yeah,
As always, thank you all for tuning into another episode of TIFP, or the iTunes Fan Podcast, and as always, I'm Teddy Magrick from the iTunes Fanboy.
I'm Tiger Cat 406, and I'm gonna go mess with fire trucks.
And this is Elephant Day Wolf making podcasts great again. I'm sorry.
And as always, we are going to we are going to proceed to make podcasting great again, because we shall be back sometime soon. And as always, peace out.
See ya.
Thank you for tuning